Okay, good morning. I'm glad that people are hopping on, but I wanted to make sure that I started on time. It's going to be good. And here's the thing. I'm just going to give you the warning so you can check out if you want now. But this is not one of those feel good power 30s. This is a I'm going to come in and kick your butt power 30. Okay. So I'm giving you that disclaimer right now, but I'm telling you, if you don't leave motivated on this one, um, then I just don't know what. So I listened to a woman on a podcast called Debbie Neal, and her podcast is Level Up. I know that Janie listens to her. She started loving her. If you've not listened to her, check it out. She also started doing, I think, really like last year, even at the beginning, she started doing these affirmations. So she gives you all these affirmations too that you can do. Like, so anyway, I loved this particular topic because it's everything you want has an exchange. Okay. Just remember, I said, I'm going to kick your butt this morning. It's not a feel good power 30. Okay. So everything you want has an exchange. Everything in life, right? It has some sort of exchange value. It requires you have to do this or you have to stop doing that kind of an exchange, right? And Debbie Neal talks about she loves network marketing and she is in network marketing. And I feel like we love network. I know I do. I know Alita's like, we love network marketing because we understand the potential, right? It's more than just the income, right? It's travel, it's time flexibility, it's owning your own life, it's deciding how are you going to spend your days, it's, you know, knowing your worth, fulfilling your purpose, like rising yourself. It's about who you're becoming more than anything. Maybe it's about availability to our family, to our friends, to our ideas, to what we want, all of that, right? So here's the thing, we all want something, right? And she was talking about how wanting is really a low vibe energy, okay? So expecting is something completely different, right? It's a totally different vibing and energy and all that. Like every time you listen to her, like Debbie Neal is like here with energy. So, and here's the thing, we all want stuff or things, right? Just fill in the blank, right? But remember how we always say we're not average people, we're above average in what we do and what we think. And as more than average people, we have to understand that what we want requires something, okay? An exchange. Maybe it's, so because people can enter this business and maybe it's an expectation that we put out. I know that as your diamond leaders, we do not do this because it's just not true. My husband, his favorite thing to say is, it just takes 30 minutes a day. Well, it doesn't. Okay. That's a lie. And, you're not just going to wake up, make your coffee the way you like it. You can start a biz and be like, yeah, I'm living the dream. Like it just doesn't happen like that in a day. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to be intentional. You've got to be consistent. You've got to be determined. You need to be committed, right? And working the business, right? And this is okay. So this is a good one. People try to have all these things before they've actually earned it. Right. And she talks about, oh, I see so and so, like, oh, I'm just working my biz for my phone. And she's like, are you really working? Like, have you really earned that? It takes a lot of work to be able to make that post that, hey, I'm working on the beach. And when we do that, we actually are working on the beach. We may be at the beach, right? At this point as diamonds, but we are working, right? But we've earned that, right? You have to earn it. And here's the thing, we don't just do that, right? When you get to the top, you have not arrived. My gosh, you're just figuring things out. Now it's time to really go and train this to people so that they can have that life, and help them to become who they want to become, right? So, you have to have the business to be able to warrant doing those things. Don't just show off, kind of, really. Here's the thing, you have to be clear. You work, you build, you don't just work, build, and arrive, like I just said. Like, you are always, yes, there's so many freedoms, so many choices, but you're not going to have that solid business that you claim to want to have unless you are taking and making some exchanges, right? So, network marketing, if you can really grasp this, it is a lot of people doing a little, right? It is not just selling, and it really is like we are selling and training others how to sell. But here's the thing, right? It's a lot of people doing a little, and here you're also going to have people who quit. You are going to have rock stars that come along. Amen. Who doesn't love that, right? But that's not where you sit your laurels. Like, you just don't rest in that. That's great, but you've got to be wide. You've got to be solid. You're going to work to be deep. So you have to know and love this business, right? Things that people want, right? But they have to understand what it actually takes to create them. Okay, let's run through some. I really hope I can get through these. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on later or make it part 2. We're going to see. All right. People want to own their life, right? A lot of us talk about that, right? And that's really, there's a different definition for each of us for that. Maybe you don't want to be told that you're going to commute every day. Maybe you don't want to work for somebody else. Maybe you want to be your own boss. You don't want to have a boss. Maybe you don't want to be told your worth by your boss, right? Maybe you don't want just vacation days or weeks, right? Maybe you don't want a couple sick days, right? There's not, maybe you don't want to be told, guess what? You can just have 2 days to bereave that loss, but get back to work, right? Maybe you want days off for your family. Owning your life looks different, right? And so you need to figure out what that is. But those, that's choices. We're talking about choices, in other words. That is like, how do we own our life? Okay. Well, we take ownership of our business. This is Power 30, really for business builders. Maybe you're not a business builder yet, but you want to be. So you have to take ownership of your business. Just waiting around. She's so funny when she talks. Like, she really is sarcastic. So you have to understand that about her when she's talking. And she's totally upfront. Like, you have no question about what she's thinking, right? She's like, you bring those people on, they're like, oh, I'm just waiting for an email to tell me what to do. I need to wait for my upline to tell me when the meetings are. She's like, BS. She's like, take ownership, learn the industry, learn the products, learn the business, take initiative, figure it out, learn, learn how to crush this business, and know what the incentives are, know what the promos are. Okay, we sent out all this starting guide, building your business guide, whatever it is. There's so much stuff coming out of Super Saturday. Like, Who's read the starting guide that you're sending to people? Who's been on the first opportunity call? You can't just sit around and say, I wonder if my upline's going to tell me about that. I mean, it's just figure it out. You know the promos. Don't be like, hey, is it still dollar membership? Like, know it, own it, look it up, research it, figure it out. Be a self-starter. Anyway, so that's what taking ownership of your business is. And you need to grow and build your team to the next level. Don't rely on everyone. One of Debbie's pet peeves is, well, I'm sure I could be successful if my upline did this or she talked to me about that. And she says, hands down, if you have an upline who's working the business, pouring into you, coaching, doing all that, man, and you have a committed leader, it is the absolute best. But you can do it with or without them. And a lot of times we use Brie Coolidge as an example. She doesn't have a working upline. She has built to diamond and then some. That again, part of to me is kind of that one plexus vibe that we have. We help anyone, right? So many people let their business stop because they say they're just not getting the support they need, their upline's not doing this, whatever is that. If you want to own your life, if you want to build a business, take ownership, okay? Own your success, own your mindset, own your goals, own your energy. Okay, number 2. People want flexibility. They want the flexibility. She's like, I can go to bed when I want. I can wake up when I want. I can do all those things now, right? But you have to make sacrifices. And what she's really saying, she says, if you want flexibility, you actually have to be inflexible. You need to be inflexible about some things as you're building this business. There are some things that you have to say no to. If it doesn't bring you closer to your goals or building your business, then you're going to have to say no to everything else. So something she talked about how her team calls and like bigger calls or everything were on Sunday. She's like, well, you better believe that Sundays were inflexible. My family knew it. I was home. I was there. I was doing it. That is how it is about Monday nights. Even my husband knows. Like Monday nights is plexus night. Maybe if I'm doing a sip and see at this particular point, that would take over. But guess what? Rarely do I have a sip and see on a Monday night. When we did the wellness code tours, right? We were missing Monday night calls, but that's different. We were out building our business. Be inflexible. Like you're on, that's what you're doing, because guess what? You can't say, oh, this little family thing came up, or you're not going to build the big organization if you're not willing to be inflexible. If you're not on calls, your team isn't going to be on calls, right? And that's just the way it is. If you have certain in-person meetings, like they had 2 in-person meetings for her company, and she was always there. And she said one of those days, it was her daughter's birthday. She's like, guess what? My daughter came with me. We did the meeting and then we did something after. She's like, that's the commitment level you need, because it's an exchange. It's an exchange while you're building, right? And she says you really have to have that no matter what mentality. It's a mindset. It's a mindset and then an action that follows it. And mind you, when it was her daughter's birthday, her birthday was 7. 7-year-olds can understand. Meg and Phil talk with the boys all the time. Alita does it with her kids. Like they have to know and understand what you're building. You're building it for them. They can be invested in it. You want them invested in it. Sometimes you have to talk to them to help them to understand. I remember the boys, Megan set up that She always had little rewards for the boys when they hit different levels. When they hit Emerald, she's like, "We're going to Great Wolf Lodge." The night she hit Emerald, the boys started running upstairs. Well, we're packing. And she's like, no, 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 like, we're not going tonight. But like, they understood the mission, right? Because there are things that you can get them excited about, and they understand, right? And so it's like, hey, sorry, I can't do this because this is what I'm working on right now. Remember that emerald goal? Remember that? And they're like, okay, okay. Like, our kids understand what it means to build a business. You have to have non-negotiables. Hey, I'd love to go to my in-laws tonight for dinner, that extra special dinner, but guess what? It's Monday night. I'm not going. You guys can go if you want, but understand that just I need to be on these calls. I want my team to be on these calls. I'm going for a goal this month. If you want flexibility, you need to be inflexible for a period of time, right? It's not forever. There have been times when Alita has missed her kids' games, but then there were other times where we worked the Monday night. She's like, I need to be at their basketball game tonight. She's earned it. We took over. That's what we do. Okay. Are you willing to do what it takes to build an incredible network marketing business that is going to pay you back exponentially in the future, right? So ask yourself that. Are you going to be inflexible in order to get flexibility in your life and in your business? Okay, so people come along, I don't know, I guess this is number 3. It was so funny. She's like, I don't remember what the numbers are. I'm just going to blurt them out. So I want to quit my job. And people will tell you that, you know what, I want to quit my job, right? Because their boss treats them like crap. There's no flexible hours. They can't get off for their kids' afternoon basketball game, or grandparents, for me, grandparents lunch with the kids, stuff like that. Your boss is like, too bad. I've had people get yelled at because they took 5 extra minutes at lunch, even though they're working past time. Like, that's just BS, right? Okay, so they come to you, they're like, I want to quit my job, right? People say this. Well, guess what? Here's the neat thing about network marketing. You can build this business and, okay, capital A-N-D, and work this business or not, right? So maybe you love your work. You can do both, right? And you can actually be good or great at both, right? But you get these people who, people on your team, I'm gonna quit my job. And so what they have to do is they have to work on that plan A, their job, right? Work network marketing alongside it. So eventually they can quit plan A and be, network marketing plan B is your full-time thing. Okay. And people do change too, right? Like when I started, I never thought I would retire my CPA business, right? I mean, I loved it. Like, why would I, like, first of all, why do I want another stream of income? I realized that real quick once I figured it out. Well, of course you do. And then I worked alongside, and then I retired my CPA business. That's what I did. Like for her, she said she used to be in corporate, and she loved it. She goes, nobody in the world could tell me that I would ever leave my corporate job. And she was like, until I had my first baby. She was like, that changed everything for me. And she was like, well, heck yeah, I need to be around for her. And so like, you have that drive, right? There are no choices in the corporate world. So again, okay, you've got someone who says, I want to quit my full-time job. If you want to make network marketing your full-time job, then treat it like a business. We talk about this all the time. Treat it like a business, like your job. Like when you go into your job and you've got a task and you've got to complete, these 5 things, like it has to be done, right? You don't say, man, I just don't feel like it. I am super tired today. I just don't think I can do my job. I'm just going to tell my boss, you know what? I need an afternoon nap. You know what I mean? And I just, I'm not feeling it today. I kind of got a headache coming on. No, you still, even when you actually feel sick, a little sick, right? You're all stuffed up and whatever. Like you go into your job, right? It's not, you don't make up those excuses. So you need to treat your network marketing job like it is a profession, because it is, okay? Um, I went through a phase where I told people I'm a professional network marketer, and I still own that. Like, that's a next level thing when you can do that, because there are still people, as much as network marketing has come along, there are still people, you get it, they post, I need another stream of income. I need a work at home opportunity. No MLMs. It's like, oh my gosh, you obviously don't understand it. It's like, you're ridiculous. But anyway, own it. I'm a professional network marketer. So anyway, so you're your own boss. You're setting those tasks, all of those things. You need to be strict about it. Like, and here's another thing. When you say, I just thought of this, when you say you're going to do something and you don't, you break trust with yourself. You break trust with the people that you've brought on, that you said, hey, I can help you build a business, an extra stream of income. I can get your products covered. But if you don't do something and follow through with it, you're breaking trust on a couple different levels. And guess what? It catches up with you. If you've told somebody you're going to do something, um, and you don't, and guess what? I'm not perfect, because I'm sitting here looking at my desk and I actually messaged this person. I broke trust. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't really even know this person. For some reason, she found me on Facebook and she's been with me for a year. And she takes her products on and off, but she doesn't like the flavor of Slim. She's like, I'll choke it down though. But that creates her not ordering every month. But here they are. I wrote a note out. I've got samples and I have not put them in the mail. You better believe that today I am putting them in the mail. I messaged her last night. I was like, hey, I said I would mail you samples. I'm going to do that. Like, try them out. There's Active. You'll love it. What's really funny is she owns a candy company. And I'm like, man, that is such a hard environment. Like, she's making all those chocolates people eat for Valentine's Day. But I said, you're going to need the Active. Anyway, that's just a side tangent. But, it breaks trust, right? And you don't want to do that. Um, and I get it. We all get it. We're all busy. You get busy, right? It's one more thing. Like, you're so busy at work and they're keeping you overtime, but you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go home and work my network marketing business. Change your mindset. It's about energy. I get to go home and work my network marketing business. I'm building my dream and nobody's going to stop me. Say that out loud and it'll change things, right? So things are going to be out of balance. They just are. And people say, I need to figure out balance. You're never going to have it. Okay. You can work on harmony, right? But things are going to be out of balance sometimes if you want to build, like you say, you're going to build, right? If you want all of this, you have got to own your network marketing business. Like, what is the level of effort that I need to put in to get to where I'm at? What am I willing to exchange? What am I willing to do? Right? How bad do you want to quit your job? That's why we say our why is really important, because you need to tune into that, right? If you want to bring your family on a vacation to Disney and you're like, man, things are really tight, change your mindset. I get to go home after my job and build my network marketing business and make some killer cash. Okay, that's a different attitude, isn't it? Right. So, number 4, people say, I want to be able to afford a new home, like, I need to get out of this apartment. I want to be a home owner, like maybe that's um on their list, or maybe like, I want to be able to pay for my kids' college, right? I don't want to have to worry about the cost of things. Do you know what that takes? You better figure it out. Like, that's what I'm talking about here. You have to think like an entrepreneur. You need to be your own CEO, be your own boss, not have that employee mindset. That will kill your dreams, right? Hey, that's not my job. Hey, must be nice. Ugh, I don't feel like it today. Whatever that might be, right? So it's not just punching a clock or she also hates this, okay? It's not working in the nooks and crannies. She goes, that is BS. She's like, yes, if you want to build a solid like gold business and that's where you want to be and you want to get your products covered, yeah, you can work in the nooks and crannies. But if you want to quit your job, if you want to fund your kids college, if you want to own a home and you live in a rental right now, yeah, that's not going to do it. That and just be honest with yourself. Like, am I willing to do this, right? Um, if you're, maybe if you're not looking to do that, like I said, you can have a song, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've told people that before, and it's changed the way they work their business. Oh, you know what? I really do just want to be gold. And they're happy. They work harder just for gold. Because they realize, okay, I don't right now, I don't want to be a diamond. This is what I want. And their work level actually picks up, believe it or not, but they keep that solid gold or senior gold, okay? But you can't build to diamond working in the nooks and crannies, right? It takes more than an hour a day or the 30 minutes a day that my husband jokes about that we always said to begin with. Like, that's if you're going to build diamond, that is not what's going to happen. Now, can we work a lot less and be focused and do what we want and not waste 6 hours in a day? Yes, 100%. I work on that every day. You're not scrolling, you're not just trying to figure things out, you're not like talking to the same, whatever. You can be focused and really get stuff done in not a lot of time. And then just like follow up and whatever, all those other things happen after. But if you get done what you need to get done in a day, you'd be surprised, and you stay focused, you don't let anything else distract you, you'd be surprised what you actually can get done. All right. So if you want something big, if you want bigger than that solid gold, it takes more. It just takes more, right? Um, for Debbie Neal, she was like, I knew it was going to take $1 million to get my kids through college. And that was something that she wanted to do. She's like, so this is what you have to ask yourself. What am I willing to do to reach that goal, to have that freedom? How inflexible am I willing to be? What choices am I willing to make? Am I willing to really have an exchange of, I want this, so I need to do this, or I want this, I need to give this up, right? Whether it's kids' college, a new home, no boss, no commute. I am going to make this 2 parts because there really still is some real other good stuff. But I'm going to tell you a couple stories. So on Tuesday, I met Alita for lunch, 3-hour lunch. Guess what? We can do that now. We can do that now. But that doesn't mean that we don't work that day. We do. Like we still work. And it was a business meeting. I'm telling you, like, and eventually we're going to share it with you guys, but like we came to some major light bulb things. Like, there's nothing better than having a conversation and up leveling, like being with people who want to up level. The conversations are different. I'm a totally different person than I was when I started, honestly. And it's not that I wasn't good before. It's just I'm living into the potential of what I was created to be. And it's amazing, right? So those conversations. So we had that lunch, whatever. But guess what? When I was driving in, I had to go through Nashville. And oh my gosh, I thought if I had to commute in this every single day, I would not be a pleasant person. I would not be happy. It would crush my spirit before I even started the day, right? And I remember commuting to my CPA job when I worked at another public accounting firm. It's a lot. But anyway, so that was a reminder. Whoo, man, and I'll say that. Thank you, Lord, that I do not have to commute every day. And I'll bring that to mind if I start getting slack, like you can pull on those thoughts. Here is another thing. When people, I'm going to go back here. Well, okay, so back to the last point that I just did. People want to be able to pay their mortgage, get a home, whatever it is that you want, right? So, not worry about the cost of things. So that was something she talked about. It reminded me, I will post today about this, but um, you guys get the preview. I was thinking, I just was like, and I actually get a little choked up here. I didn't expect that. So I bought a new truck at the end of, and I haven't posted about that, but that will come after. Um, I bought a new truck at the end of the year, and I did a sip and see with the guys at the dealership too the next day. But anyway, I'm thankful that we get I get a lifestyle bonus because I chose not to get the Lexus. Once I hit dual status, a truck works much better for my life. So I got another truck. But yesterday, like it comes full circle. I went to the accessories place in town and I said, listen, I got a new truck. I need running boards on it. I can barely climb into this truck. It's ridiculous. The boys are laughing at it. And they're like, whoa, this is high, mom, And I'm like, I know. I just like, I have to hang onto the handle and pull myself in. I'm like, this is exercise. So I'm like, I need new running boards and I need it to know cover because we like it covered. We will put stuff back there and all that. And the guy was like, that's $1,300. I was like, okay. And I handed over my card and I thought, I didn't have to check my balance and I didn't just transfer my pay yet either, actually. I didn't have to worry about spending $1,300. And guess what? My life was not always like that. Even when I had my CPA business, people think, oh, you're in retirement. You're just, there are some people who still think my mother does. Okay. God, you're just like, this is just a cute little thing for you. Well, no, it's not. It's my business. I make more money. I work hard because it's for me, right? But to be able to have the ability to just hand over my card and say, go ahead, run it. Like I'm choked up about this. I'm definitely posting after this. There's something about that. Like it's incredible. And I love that network marketing and Plexus in particular allowed me to do that. That's life changing when we say that, because I have people who have carts out and they're like, I need to wait for this one refund from my cell phone rebate or something like that in order to get these products. And I'm thinking, I just handed over my card for $1,300. I'm like, put it on PayPal and let's get you going. I mean, that's what I told her. So anyway, thank you for over a little bit. Thank you for hearing me out, letting me be very direct. And we're going to continue this because there's still really good stuff. I want you guys to have big visions, okay? And don't let anything stop you. Be inflexible. Understand that there's an exchange and don't break trust with yourself. All right, you guys. Oh, I want to see there's a lot of comments. I am going to stop the recording.